Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Madhu. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm good too. Thank you. So, can you tell us something about yourself?
Yes, sir. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Madhu Saran. I'm basically from Bangalore, and I have 4 years experience in software testing. And currently, I'm working in Cisco Technology as a quality analyst. And I worked on like e-commerce and healthcare domains. Uh, I worked on web-based application and mobile application, like e-commerce, healthcare domain, and all. And I involved in the test case executions, like different across the different phases, like manual testing and automation testing. And I
Hmm.
have good experts in like manual testing, like for system testing, functional testing, integration testing, end-to-end testing, and ad hoc testing, and regression testing. I
Right.
have a good experience in like creating the test cases using test cases and technique, and I have experience in like converting the test cases into that test scripts.
Hmm.
So and I'm involved in that test plan and the test planning and execution and defect management and good understanding in SDLC. So this is all about myself, sir.
Okay. Great. Great. So, can you tell me in which cases will you use implicit weight and in which scenarios will you use explicit weight?
So implicit will wait usually for globally for when we are starting that creating the test cases. In global, we'll use for implicit wait. So it will
Hmm.
wait for all element. For explicit wait, it will use we are using for specific like feature or element.
Hmm.
So it will wait for until that whatever we given time, or it will wait until that fetch that expected condition.
Hmm.
So we are using for that.
Okay. So, implicit weight, as you mentioned it correctly, it is used when waiting for the elements is to be kept at the global level.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
it it is waiting for the elements to appear globally across the entire test. Now, example is when elements might take some time and that kind of delay is consistent, then you can go for implicit wait. Explicit wait can be used for some specific conditions, specific scenarios. For example, you have to check the visibility of the element, you have to check it is clickable or not, right? Or here you can take an example of when you are waiting for an Ajax, when you're waiting for an element to load with
Yes.
some Ajax response, right? Or some dynamic element is there, then you can go for explicit wait.
Yes. Okay, sir.
Okay. Let's say if you want to print the title of links, right? Let's say there are 10 links, then how will you do it? You want to print the title of all the links that are open in the browser, and there are 10 different links that are open.
Uh, the same tabs are like how it is.
Yeah, yeah. So you have one browser, in
Yes.
that you have different links, those are opened, right?
So I have to. I'm using get title method for that. Uh,
Hmm.
by using find elements that method. So I'll fetch that all that titles where whatever it is there. All titles will fetch and will store into that one variable. Then
Hmm.
that variable I have to use for that get title. So it will fetch the titles.
Okay. What if there are different browsers, 10 different links you browsers are launched, then what will you do?
Then every time we have to switch for that like browser, sir, that it will take get window handles for switching that
Hmm.
uh, uh, that get window handle, it is switching to that only for next tab.
Hmm.
But when it comes to different browser, in the sense I'm not aware of that, sir, because I didn't work on that.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, okay, no problem, no problem. So, let me tell you about the thing then. Okay, let me share the screen. So, yeah, it might take some time to load. Now, is it visible?
No, sir.
Yeah, now is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Hmm. So what you can do here is, let's say you have a list of web element, right? So you can use list of web element links equal to driver dot find elements by dot tag name of anchor tag A.
Okay.
Here you can go for loop, right? So in the for loop, you'll identify all those links are there. There are 10. So here I have hard coded it, right?
Okay.
But you can also use this kind of variable, links dot size, right?
Okay.
Based on the size, it can be 8, it can be 12. Based on the size, you can take the decision, right?
Okay, sir.
So this is a pure logic thing that you have to tell. If you can understand it in a bigger manner. So this is entire code, right? So what is our purpose is to print the link titles. So here we will set up the WebDriver, right? So WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver that we will do. Then we will have some try catch mechanism. And within that, we will write driver.get google.com. So this is one of the page, let's say we have opened. Now we are trying to find all the links on that particular web page, right?
Okay, sir.
So that's how we will get all the links.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. So this is the approach. Now, let's say if you are being asked if different windows, 10 different windows are open, then the answer that you gave was correct. That you
Ah,
have to switch to that particular window for that. Okay. So that's the correct thing. Mm, okay. Now let's say there is one of your team member who has written this kind of a code for finding the titles of the 10 different links. What if you want to optimize it? On what basis will you optimize it? Or on what basis you'll perform refactoring? What would be your approach?
I'm not
Mhm.
that's exactly, I'm not getting that.
Okay, okay, no worries. So let me tell you about the approach. So what you can do is basically there are 3 to 4 things that we need to take care here. So one is we can minimize the iteration, right?
Okay.
For example, we should not hard code the things, right? For example, this 10 links or something, we can minimize the iteration by iterating only over the first 10 links, right?
Okay, sir.
If there is no link in the first 1 to 10, then 11th link will be taken care. Okay. Then we can print no text if the link has no visible text itself, right? We can also try to avoid the exceptions, because if there are some exceptions, then what would happen is you would get frequently those kind of exceptions like index out of bound exception, right?
Okay, sir.
So those
Yes.
kind of exceptions you might get. So it is very important that you can exit the code in that particular situation properly.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So that is one of the thing that we can do. Apart from that, yeah, I think this is fine. Okay, what is the difference between find element and find elements?
A find element, it will fetch first element,
Hmm.
and find elements, it will fetch all the elements. So find element return type is web element. This find elements return type is list of web element. Uh, uh, for example, if the find elements is matching all the elements, it will fetch first one, and if it is matching all the elements for related, that it will fetch all the web elements.
Hmm.
If it is not matching any element, it will show not find elements. It will show empty array bound exception. Find elements, it will show no such element exception.
Okay, are you sure about the exceptions?
Yes, sir. No, find elements, it will show no such element exception.
Hmm.
Find elements, it will show empty array list exception.
Okay. What is the return type of find element and find elements?
Find element return type is web element. Find elements return type is list of web element.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, fine. So I think most of the points you have already covered, but still let me share the screen. Yeah. So find element, it will return the first matching web element. I think you mentioned that point. Find elements, S is there, so it will return a list of multiple matching web elements. This will throw no such element exception, right? If the element is not found, but in find elements, you'll get an empty list if no matching element is found, right? So that's the basically the difference between find element and find elements, right? So this will detect a unique web element. This will return a collection of matching elements.
Matching.
Okay, great. What do you know about BDD?
So BDD is a behavioral driven framework. Uh,
So it's not a framework, it's a way, it's an approach how you will write the test, right?
okay.
The framework can be a data-driven framework or a keyword-driven framework or a hybrid framework, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Which are the different components of BDD?
So BDD, I'm not worked on that. So we are using hybrid framework. BDD, just I know like that is a behavioral driven framework uh,
Okay.
that we are using given when then. Like
Okay. Fine. So you are working on one of the automation frameworks. So can you explain that framework?
we are working on hybrid framework. It's combination of testing, key driven and model driven. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and we are using text change annotations and whatever the reusability is there utilities from the we are fetching from the Excel datas or property files or WebDriver methods
Hmm.
listeners we are storing into that reusability methods in that
Hmm.
classes we are creating main Java and whatever we are performing that main classes
Hmm.
in the POM classes, whatever we are creating web element for that particular page, that we are storing in the object repository that is into that main Java. And main classes in when it comes to test Java, so whatever we are written codes in that page object models, that
Hmm.
we are creating object and fetching here in that main classes and test resource we are storing into that drivers like browsers exe files and excel files and testng xml files, those things we are storing in that resource folders, and we are pom.xml file all the dependency we are storing in that pom.xml. So this is all about frameworks, hybrid
Mhm.
framework.
Right. Right. Okay. How will you handle multiple frames in Selenium?
So by using driver.switch.frame, we can handle by index also, or ID also, or XPath also.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How do you pick which test cases you have to automate?
So we can automate test case like checkbox, radio buttons, or
Mm.
text fields, uh, 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 and sending the data and all in that particular text field. Those
Mm.
things we can automate.
Okay. Great. So now I want you to open Amazon.com, right? You
Okay.
can share your screen. I'm giving you screen sharing rights. You can click on the screen color button, share screen, and you need to open Amazon.com.
Okay. So this entire screen I have to share, right?
Uh, you can open Amazon.com in just Google Chrome browser. Only that screen you can share.
Okay, one second.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Now it's visible.
Mhm. Yeah, it's loading. Yeah, yeah. So now what you need to do is click on this air conditioners, appliances for your home is there. Click on air conditioners in that.
Now,
Yeah, click on that. Okay. Now scroll down a bit. Okay. So you need to find the locator for add to cart here.
this one, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, yes, I got. But it's asking number.
Yeah, you're done.
Yes, 1 second, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir, it's done, sir.
Okay, okay, great. So you have done button text to add to cart of one. Okay, let's say if I don't want to use this one, so this one will become an locator with an index-based thing.
Yes, sir, correct, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So how can we avoid that?
1 second, sir. We can go with this sibling, sir.
Hmm.
That's one thing. Uh,
So do one thing, share this URL in the chat with me, what you have opened. I'll tell you one
okay,
thing
sir. Okay,
that,
sir.
yeah, you try and share this thing in the chat box. Meanwhile, I'll tell you the answer for this.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. I shared.
Yeah, yeah.
I can continue this one.
Yes,
Fine.
yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you getting it? Yeah. So same thing, button ID equal to, I'm getting that thing.
Yes, I also got, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So you can use that ID itself if it is unique. I
Okay.
got the ID A dash auto ID dash 3 dash announce. So maybe I am trying to try to automate that add to cart button of the third AC, which is costing around 45,000, right? So
Yes,
similarly for you it will be one, right? So one,
yes,
two,
sir.
three, you are getting those IDs that will be more unique. You can also create XPath using those IDs. That's one and the same thing.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, great. Now, can you scroll up a bit?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, in the same website. Yeah,
Sorry, sir. 1 second.
no problem. It's totally fine.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So now you scroll up a bit. Yeah, scroll up. Yeah, go up. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Now, these brands checkboxes you are able to see.
This one, sir.
Yeah. So can you tell me how much time would you take to automate this particular checkboxes?
Uh,
Hmm.
So click selecting this checkbox and unselect both. I have to do like only
Yeah,
select.
yeah. So let's say you have to automate this particular feature, right? It's a user story that has been assigned to you. So how
Okay.
much time would you take to automate it?
Only these two checkbox in the sense
Hmm.
I'll take around half an hour to 1 hour.
Okay, okay. So let's say if you're getting this kind of a question, so you can answer that first time you would take to decide whether those test cases are stable. If those are
Okay.
stable, then you can consider for automation.
Okay, sir.
And next, you can consider the time to find the XPath, to find the locators, to check if the pages are created, right? Getter setter methods are there. So all those things you'll check. If the pages are not created, you'll create the pages. If the screens are, if the getter setter methods are not there, you'll create them. Then let's say if you are using BDD, then you will create keywords, you'll create step definition file, you'll create test runner file. So accordingly, you'll create the entire end-to-end thing.
Okay, sir. So for that, how it will take like 1 day or like how it is?
Yeah, yeah, 1 to 2 days. So whenever you give the answer, tell in the terms of range,
Okay, sir.
right?
Okay.
If you feel it's less than a 1 day, you can tell 6 to 8 hours like that.
Okay,
And
sir.
then you have to design the code, you have to develop the code, you have to test that code, you have to get it reviewed by your leads or your managers. They'll give you they'll provide you the feedback. Then you have to update the code. Then you have to push the code to the Git version control.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right? That's how the entire process will go.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Madhu, I'm done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Uh, yes, like
Yeah.
just I want to know like how I give that inter. I mean feedback like from your end
Yeah.
either.
Sure, sure.